Oh boy, needed that one. Needed that one in the worst way. I needed it. You guys needed it. Tibbs needed it on his birthday. I'm sure the Knicks needed it. And man, it just let me start off by saying a couple things. There are some things that I don't want to hear after this win, because it's unfair to what the Knicks have done just now, kicking the shit out of a team that was first in the Eastern Conference before they took the floor today. The first thing I don't want to hear is that Boston is shorthanded or Boston's playing an afternoon game, because the shorthanded Celtics 2 days ago kicked the crap out of the Orlando Magic by 27 points. So if they could do that then, they had enough to compete against the Knicks right now. Yeah, a little bit of a fresh cut. The second thing I don't want to hear the afternoon game thing, because the Knicks had to play an afternoon game too. So, fair is fair. The thing that I'll hear a little bit is that the Celtics missed a ton of three-pointers. But again, I thought, and I'm going to get into this in the film for probably tomorrow's newsletter, is I thought the Knicks defense today was absolutely outstanding. I thought they were everywhere. I thought, of course, the Celtics got a couple open threes, but I thought the Knicks were getting out. I thought there were hands and faces. I thought they were switching wisely. I thought, except for a couple moments early on where they left the paint open for a few early Celtic drives, I thought the Knicks finally, because we really have not seen this a lot this year, finally were doing what their defense is designed to do, which is walling off the paint and not giving guys easy looks at the basket. If anything, the Celtics got aided a lot by their offensive rebounds today. I'm going to look up the points in the paint right now, because I feel like because of the Celtics' offensive rebounds, I bet you they had a lot of points in the paint. They had 32 points in the paint, which on 75 points scored is like a decent amount, but at the same time, you'll be happy to give up 32 points in the paint any night. So let me just say all that from the outset. In terms of the guys that we saw performances from tonight, man, who am I going to start with? I got to start with the kid, right? I have to start with the kid. This fucking kid, coming off of, it was a career high 19 points, follows it up with a career high 21 points, and now follows that up with 17 points and 8 assists in 21 minutes. Tibbs, if you shut off the game early, Tom Thibodeau gave Quickley some run with the other 4 starters. It wasn't a long run, but it was a run. It was a run for like 2-3 minutes there in the fourth quarter. And I don't think that's a coincidence. A few people, I put out a Twitter poll the other day, predicted that they thought Quickley would start this game. I didn't think it would be this game. In fact, I don't think it'll be tomorrow either, especially since they're coming off a win. And it's just kind of weird to shuffle up the starting lineup coming off a win. I do think there is a significant chance that they switch up the starting lineup for the West Coast road trip, because they're going to have 2 practice days before that, assuming they practice both days, which knowing Thibodeau, they will. And it's coming. It has to be coming, because honestly, Elfrid Payton, so funny. I was about to say, Elfrid Payton didn't have a terrible game today, and I look at the line, 3 for 9 from the field. That's Elf. It's like I have come to try to look for positives because I feel bad for the guy. Because he's getting shat on by all of New York. Most of it is deserved. I didn't think it felt like he had a bad game. A 3 for 9 is 3 for 9. And 7 for 12 is 7 for 12. It's poster child for the Proud Boys. Oh, please don't put that shit on me. Oh, man, that's terrible. Oh, God. Sorry, that one got me. I don't have time to get a haircut a lot. So when I get a haircut, I get it close cut, so I don't have to go back to get one anytime soon. Man, Sorry, you threw me off with that one. All right. Quickley's awesome. I don't know what else to say. This kid's a rookie and he's coming in and just absolutely owning everything. Second guy I want to talk about is not the guy who I was the second most impressive performance to me, but Obi Toppin. I thought it was really, really, really Tyler Earl. I'm not going to read the chat for a minute because I'm not going to be able to get through this. I thought Obi Toppin looked really good. I thought Obi Toppin looked. Let me rephrase that. I thought Obi Toppin looked really good in the second half. I thought he looked completely out of place in the first half. I thought he looked like a guy who still was figuring out like what a basketball court was and like what a basketball was and what to do with it. But you could see in the second half, the game started to slow down for him. Maybe it was the fact that he knew he was playing with a big lead. Maybe it was the fact that he was playing with Quickley out there. I don't know, but you could start to see it started ever so slightly to slow down for him. And it was just nice to see some signs. It was nice to see the ball go in the hoop. It was nice to see him hit those couple of threes. It was nice to see him get a couple of dunks. I would like to see more of that from Obi Toppin. Played 17 minutes too, so hopefully, onwards and upwards. And then the third guy I'm going to talk about is RJ Barrett, because I thought there weren't a lot of Knicks. I'm gonna get to Mitchell Robinson because I think I'm gonna close with Mitch because what I thought he did today was a gutty performance. Randall was fine for him this season, 2012, 4 assists, it's like ho-hum. But I thought RJ Barrett had one of his best games of the season. I know he had a turnover. I know he had I know Smart got him on one drive. I know there was maybe one forced shot. There were a few turnovers, but one bad one. But I thought on the whole, for the last couple of games, Barrett has looked more and more like the game is coming to him. And I know he had that terrible end to the game on Friday. But this, to me, this version of RJ Barrett is the version of RJ Barrett that is going to help you win games, and that is going to be a guy who can be, again, never the first or second best player on an NBA team, but he's going to just go about his career, and he's going to be on winning teams, and you're going to look up at the end of the season, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, RJ Barrett averaged 17, 7, and 4 this year. Got to the line, 6, 7 times a game, and the last part of it is the efficiency, which hopefully we're going to get to. But again, if you're looking for encouragement in the efficiency department from RJ Barrett, here's some numbers for you. He was 7 of 8 from the line today. That means over his last 3 games, I believe he has taken nearly 20 free throws. He's taken 18 free throws over the last 3 games, and he's made 16 of them. So if you're looking for signs of life in terms of what he's going to be able to do from the floor long term, I think Claudio, you had to chime in. You had to pile on this shit. I can't with you. Encouraging signs. Last thing I'm going to say, and then I'll take a couple questions. Mitchell Robinson, gutty effort. I know a lot of people on Twitter were like, why is Mitchell Robinson in the game? He's hobbling around out there. Look, there are people that the Knicks pay a lot of money to make sure that their players stay healthy and upright because they are assets. These players are assets. It's a cruel way to look at it, but it is reality. So it would be foolish of the Knicks to put their asset, Mitchell Robinson, in jeopardy if he was not apt to play the game. And so if they deemed it okay for Mitch to go out there, obviously he had whatever test he had after the other night. I was fine with it, and I thought it represented a really, really gutty performance from him, and I was thrilled to see it. The first question I have to take is from my producer, Andrew Claudio, who texted me earlier. This was funny. He texted me, and he's like, is Emmanuel Quickley already the Knicks' second best offensive player? And in the time it took me to respond to him, Emmanuel Quickley hit 3 floaters. I'm not even kidding. Is he the second best offensive player for the Knicks? It's either him or Barrett. And Quickley's me, who craps on Barrett all the time, is really giving this some thought. I think it may be Barrett by a hair because Quickley's doing this stuff. Like Barrett just takes so much on his shoulders, and we're harder on him because of it, and we're harder on him because he was such a high draft pick. But I'm going to give it to Barrett by a hair. Burks this season has been their second best offensive player, but on the whole, I think it's probably Barrett by a hair over Quickley. Someone asks, wonder if Tibbs will expand to a 12-man rotation for Burks and Frank when healthy. Who gets the boot when they're back? I mean, I feel like I've talked about this on I don't know how many different live streams in a row. It's either Peyton or Noel for me. I don't think it's both of them because I don't think Frank gets a spot in the rotation if everybody's healthy. I think once Burks gets back in the rotation, I think Quickley will slide. I think Quickley will slide over to the starting point guard at some point, and I think maybe they make Rivers or Burks the de facto backup point guard. I don't know, but I think it could be Peyton. I also think it could be Noel, and I think it could also change on a game-to-game basis depending on matchups. I think there may be some games where he's more comfortable having – extended stretches, 15, 20 minutes a night of Obi Toppin and Julius Randle as his two big men out there. In which case, I think that might be the way he goes with the rotation. I don't think they're going to shake up the starting lineup before tomorrow. What do I think is the next level in Knox's evolution? I just want to forget the next level. I just want to see him do what he's been doing for the rest of this season. And today, he was 1 of 2 from 3, 1 of 3 for overall. If he could just be a 40+% 3-point shooter, because remember, if we go back in time to a year ago, this many games into the season, I'm pretty sure Knox, or maybe it was like 10 games in, Knox was still shooting above 40% from 3. So how about for Kevin Knox, we just keep it 40% or more from 3 on decent volume, 15, 20 minutes a game for the entire season, and then worry about the next stage of his evolution, because I think he's already giving you a little bit more hustle plays, a little bit more grit. He had a great rebound in traffic tonight. That was wonderful to see. Generally, he's defending better. He's putting the ball on the floor. He's a little bit more comfortable making plays off the dribble. So where he's at right now is fine. I just want to see him keep hitting shots all year. Peyton looking like you don't have a family. Have I watched Jaden Springer yet? Oh, my God. Were you, spying on me this morning? Okay, so this is the last one I'll take, and then I got to do a podcast with Jeremy Cohen, so I'm not going to take any more. I'll take more questions tomorrow. I got up this morning, and I'm like, I don't have it in me to watch NBA highlights, because usually I watch highlights first thing I do when I get up, because I was just so depressed about the 5-game losing streak. So I'm like, let me see what the Tennessee kids did yesterday against Vanderbilt. And I went and I watched a shit ton of highlights of Tennessee yesterday. That Springer kid is good. I don't think he's as good as Keon Johnson. I think Keon Johnson has a chance to be the 5th or 6th pick in the draft when all's said and done. But I like Springer. I don't love him. I like him though. And I'd like to see some more 3-point shooting. I know that he's hitting 55% of his threes this year, but he's doing it on 2 attempts a game. So, but I like Springer. I like Springer a lot. The other guy I watched some clips of last night is Suggs, and man. I know we all love Emmanuel Quickley. Emmanuel Quickley is the god. But if this team can get Jalen Suggs on it, and you add it to this combination, I won't ask Santa for anything else next holiday season. Just give me Jalen Suggs with this roster, and I will be happy as a pig in shit. Haven't watched Sharif Cooper yet. He's next up on my list. I will get to Cooper, I promise. Great win, 30-point win in the Boston Garden. It's always great. I know we've had a rough last week and a half, but if you told me, if anybody told any of y'all that the Knicks were going to be 6-8 after the first 14 games, you would have asked no questions and you would have signed for it on the dotted line. So let's be happy. I'm going to save my MLK Day thoughts for tomorrow, because I do have some words that I may want to say on that. As people call me a proud boy in the chat. You can't write this shit. And everybody enjoy the rest of your Sunday and your football and the whole thing. And keep an eye out for the podcast tomorrow, which I'm about to record right now.